In the UK, things just got wetter. In the rain, Rishi Sunak just pulled the trigger, announcing the elections for 4 July. Now the question is, what happens next? Sunak has been granted permission from the king to dissolve the parliament, a power formerly held by the British monarch, though it is effectively the Prime Minister's decision. After 30 May, the current parliament formally ceases to exist and its MPs basically become jobless. They have 1 week to make new career plans, unless maybe they decided to stay as candidates who have to make their case to the voters so that they may be re-elected and keep a job. The Prime Minister's announcement of a July election has stunned the country. But what were his reasons for going to the polls now? His party is deeply unpopular. So why did the British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak just call for an election in a snap? After 14 years in power, the Conservatives face a likely wipeout unless there is an unprecedented reversal of its dismal opinion polling. Boris Johnson is forced to resign amid a cabinet revolt over a series of COVID scandals. Then his successor, Liz Truss, lasts only 49 days in office. Then she quits after a market backlash. Her tax and spending plans had been announced in a hastily arranged mini budget. Then along came Rishi Sunak. So, elections now. Why now? Or rather, why not now? Now, at the last election in 2019, Boris Johnson won an 80-seat majority after calling for elections in a snap just like this, as he fought to get his Brexit withdrawal deal through the parliament. Now, what does Sunak have? Is it exit? Rishi Sunak has his flagship Rwanda asylum plan and smoking policies. The Rwanda asylum plan is an immigration policy whereby people whom the UK would have identified as illegal immigrants or asylum seekers would have to be relocated to Rwanda for processing asylum and resettlement. Rishi Sunak has dropped flagship policies on the first full day of his election campaign. Under the £500 million scheme, which is the cornerstone of his government's promise to stop the boats, flights would not start taking off for Kigali until after the elections. He insisted that the Rwanda scheme would go ahead if he was elected, as the flights were booked for July. The airfields are on standby. Now, is this the reason why he called for a snap election? Is this bargain or campaign? Sunak's Rwanda policy is an address to a key issue that is at stake in the UK. The Labour Party argues with his plan to send people who come to UK by illegal routes to be resettled in Rwanda, saying that it is costly and impractical. But do they have an alternative solution? campaign period will tell. Now, is Sunak likely to lose? Certainly, if opinion polls are correct, the Labour Party has held a significant lead over the Conservatives for months now, and most experts expect a relatively comfortable victory for Labour. However, elections campaigns can sometimes alter the results, as in 2017 when the Conservative Prime Minister Theresa May called an election while leading in the polls, but went on to lose her majority after a disastrous campaign. The question will remain, what happens next? Until we meet again, Dr. Clarence is the name, and you're watching Champions Network. As always, thank you for watching, and I'm out.